maybe I'm not black-pilled anymore about this whole situation with women thinking they're strong and independent and there being no hope. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. Welcome to Far From Eden. We are so far from Eden. Eden was a perfect place. Whether you believe in it literally or know the myth, Eden was a perfect place that wasn't good enough for Eve, the woman. And I often say, if the Garden of Eden wasn't good enough, how are you going to be good enough? How is the marriage going to be good enough? How is anything going to be good enough? For women, it won't be. And when will that ever change? And why is it this way to this day? How did we go about rectifying the situation after the Garden of Eden? It's one reason why Adam got in trouble too. He got majorly busted. Why? He didn't talk to the serpent, right? It wasn't his idea, but he listened to Eve and he basically followed her and obeyed her rather than following and obeying God. And so that was not, God didn't like that so much. So since then it was like, okay, well, Eve, woman, this is where you will be. You will be sort of within the family. You will be in your place. And to our modern day ears, that sounds oppressive, right? That sounds controlling. How can you be happy when you don't have opportunities and career and a life of your own and whatever else we've been trained to think women should have or women should want? And the truth of the matter is, we don't actually want those things. How do I know? Well, history. We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of man, woman, child, God, man, woman, child, family, right? And whether or not you believe in the Bible, hopefully you can see that that system worked and people were happy, right? It wasn't modern day happiness, AKA pleasure, seek pleasure, basically do as thou wilt, right? The satanic mantra. It wasn't that, as it is now, it seems. So is there a way back to that? And for a long time, I still say MGTOW monk is your safest bet. There might be some good women out there, but how do you know which ones are what? And do you want to risk your entire livelihood, you know, children you may have? Do you want that taken from you if she's not happy? Do you want to be in a contract where if she breaks it with someone who, if they break it, they get cash and prizes? No. And that's why men are like, I'm done, right? That's not a good deal. That's a really dumb deal. That's a really dumb risk to take. But it's, where is the hope? I am naturally an optimistic person. This subject is literally the most pessimistic I've ever been about anything. Telling you guys, please, MGTOW monk or passport bro to find a traditional woman I don't know in the Amazon and make a family with her, where it's far away from feminism and modern society. That is very corrupting to women. The temptation is too great. The temptations of the attention on social media, the temptations of career and status and all this stuff that we get told is what it's all about and you'll be fulfilled. It's baloney. And you know what? That's what's making me think there's an end. I don't know when, but we're all realizing that we were fed a line of baloney. And who is we? A lot of women are realizing it. Why do you think those women were calling into Kevin Samuels? Why would they call in? Yeah, they want to be on, a lot of them want to be on screen, but some of them were like in their bonnets and they're like no makeup. Why are they doing that? When they kind of know what he's going to say, because they're desperate. They're at a point where they're terrified they're not going to have a family. I literally watch Kevin Samuels to relax. That and, family court custody battles and stuff on YouTube. And I think there's a lot of women. I think that's why he's no longer with us. I think he was waking too many people up, if you know what I mean. I'm not so sure that it was, that he passed because of high blood pressure. I'm not convinced of that. Yes, tinfoil hat, absolutely, firmly affixed at all times. But people were waking up, and they are. And the reason is because they've come to a point, the Gen Xers, first generation, who was told prioritize career over everything else. Career, career, career first. Go to college, go to college, go to college. It was like the first generation where it was like women are expected to go to college. Before that, it was more the MRS degree, the Mrs. degree, to find a husband. And some of us were like that in college too, but not enough. And then if it didn't work out, well, we were already getting ready to be launched into career and chase that. And now that we're a couple decades in, we're like, wait a minute. This is empty. I'm tired. Women, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, you guys. Women don't like to work. Like work in a job. We don't like to do it. I was watching this. This also made me think of all of this. Was one of the other things is I was watching the Whatever podcast, and I was watching a debate between Andrew Wilson and a so-called feminist who is a like a political science major or something like that, some silly whatever, some liberal arts indoctrinating degree. Please see the last meme I posted in the community section of this channel about college girls. Anyways, so she was saying that, women want to have a career and this and that. And I'm thinking, you're in college. Why do you think that's what you want? Why are there stars in your eyes about, higher degrees and career and all of this amazing thing, all these amazing things you're going to do? Why are there stars in your eyes thinking that's going to be so amazing and fabulous and you're going to be important? You're going to be valued. Because that's what you've been told. That's what they tell you. So you will go to college and get, $100,000 in debt with some useless degree to go push paper for the government, to work for to be a social worker, to go and just basically it's empty. You're not going to be valued. You're replaceable. And they don't know that when they're in college, and we didn't know that. But a couple decades in, and we're going, wait a second. This is not what I was told it would be. A lot of us are in our 40s without children. And some women were told, hey, freeze your eggs. It'll be fine. You'll do that later. And now women are like, oh my God, my eggs were destroyed, or it didn't work. It doesn't always work. And they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to have a family. And women are naturally we go, well, whose fault is this? Of course, it's our fault because we made the wrong decisions to prioritize career and all the other, things like we're going to live like, Sex in the Whole Dang City. But, that does not translate into a happy married family life. Just doesn't. It's not cool to be single and to be a single 50-year-old woman on the dating scene. It's sad. And the thing is that women are realizing it, and they're going to be like, wait a minute. I was lied to. And you follow those breadcrumbs, down the rabbit hole and go, well, wait a minute, who lied to us and why? Granted, not every woman's going to think that, but why do you think there's all this red pill content from females now? Yes, many of them are grifters, but why are they choosing this as their grift? They could choose anything. It's like the Nala Ray Only Fools girl. Why did she suddenly rebrand herself as I Found God, right? None of us believe that's true, but why did she choose that? Why didn't she just start doing fitness or fashion or makeup? Why didn't she just continue Only Fools? She figured something out. She figured she's actually a genius with marketing in that way. I'm using genius very loosely. I hope you can still hear Thomas. We redid, I mean, I have the new microphone and everything, but I'm like, kind of like, I don't know, Thomas the Train is cool. Anyway, by the way, don't forget to like the video if you're enjoying it. And if you think this content is important, please also share it somewhere so it can spread. YouTube does not like this content. YouTube does not want you guys to think about this stuff or know this stuff or talk to each other in the comments. YouTube does not want that. Google does not want that. The leftists don't want that. Feminism doesn't want that. Feminism is a tool. Feminism is a tool of the state. You can't have communism without feminism. I'm not sure that people will wake up to that, but we don't have to. We just have to wake up to the fact that feminism lied to us. And you will see so many more women saying that online. Yes, I don't like if they're grifting, and I'm like, you don't really feel that. But the thing is that they understand that that's where the conversation is going. The women are understanding that that is the right side to be on. And that's a good sign. I've asked the question at the end of a lot of the videos, will women self-correct? Will we self-correct? And will it matter if we do? Will it be too late? It's too late for a lot of us. For the women that have racked up their body count and traumatized themselves by doing that and look like the after picture in my last meme I shared. I mean, however, what about the younger women who haven't wrecked themselves yet, right? Who've actually valued themselves enough to not sell themselves or, give themselves away as let themselves be rented out, right? Participated in hookup culture, smash and dash type of thing. Ones who have said, no, I'm sort of more marriage minded. I think that there will be younger women that will catch some of this red pill content because it gets taken and put on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I know that the women are seeing some of this content. And if they hear men are not really interested in you if you are for the streets. The thing about us is that we women, we didn't know, and a lot of us don't know, that you guys have categories. And it's like there's wife category, long-term relationship partner category, and there's for the streets rental category. And women for the longest time didn't understand. They thought male attention was male attention. That's why over and over again on Kevin Samuel's channel, you will hear women say, oh, I have men interested in me. I have men interested in me all the time. And he's like, they want to deal with you, but they don't want to marry you. And the women are like, what? It's like, what do you mean? We really didn't know. And some of us are learning now. And I honestly think that's a big reason why Nala Ray, the former Only Fools girl, decided to rebrand herself and be the, Christian girl. Even though we all believe she's rebranding and it's a marketing tool, she could have chosen to be fitness. She could have chosen all that other stuff. But the fact that she chose, oh, I follow God now. And that got a lot of attention. And maybe there are younger women who go, wait a minute. If they catch the Whatever podcast, they will see, who do the big super chats come in for? The conservative women, the traditional women that are saying, if you're pretty and you are conservatively dressed, like you're not dressed with everything hanging out, and you have like obvious values and you've lived your life according to such, that's when the super chats come in. That's when the compliments come in. The insults come in to the, smash and dash girls. And if you don't think those girls sitting there and those girls watching don't notice that, you would be wrong. Historically, women do what men want. Women do what gets positive male attention. And now that if we have the opportunity to know the difference, women are going to scooch towards being more conservative. And they will stick like that because they will realize that's what's desired. That's what's valued. That's what makes them better. There are other things that lead me to think that feminism is, going to die out. And other reasons are that the biological males who are now playing in the female sports, winning, is waking some women up because they're like, wait a minute, why are you in my sport and winning? And why are you the woman of the year? Wait a minute, this has gone too far. And then I know there's a lot of them that are like, act like they're an ally, but there's a lot of women that are like, no, this has gone too far. Wait a minute. And those are the breadcrumbs that lead them down the rabbit hole that shows that it's all been a lie. And we've all been broken apart. I feel like it's a race to get people to know this. That's why I'm like, if there's a place to share this video where you don't feel like it'll be dangerous or problematic for you, please do. Because we do have women that follow this channel too. We do. Shout out Nicole Jenny. She's watching and commenting, and I appreciate her. And there's a few more, and I appreciate you if you're a woman and you're watching and you've woken up. Yay. We gotta talk. We've got to share this, us women, because we women are the ones that share information. There's a reason why, Jesus appeared to the women first, because he wanted it to spread. The women are going to go talk about it. The men are going to be like, oh my goodness, what did I just see? The women are going to be like hurrying back to the village and being like, oh my goodness gracious, you won't believe who I just saw. And they're going to talk about it. And that's what we need to do. We need to talk about it. We need to say, hey, we got to stop treating our men like this. We got to stop letting them be so lonely. Encourage their friendships, support them, say good things about them. Give them the respect they deserve just for the fact that they're men. We need to do this. We need to take responsibility and, start speaking the truth once we've figured it out. And I know it's hard. It took me a long time to start opening up and thinking, oh my God, these women are going to hate me. And some of them do. Some of them do now. But I'm at the point, I don't care. I don't care. I look at the friends I may lose, and I look at the men who have suffered and are suffering. How am I going to choose these friends? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the truth. I'm going to give it power. Oh boy. Just making sure I did not forget any of the things I wanted to mention. Lastly, I think feminism will fail ultimately because you can't disrupt God's order. You can for a time, but what I see is it returning. Because men, again, biological men in the sports, they dominate. Who putting makeup tutorials? the men get the most views when they're doing it. Either way, men are going to dominate. No matter where the society goes, men are going to dominate. And it isn't because of an evil patriarchy. It's because God's order runs true regardless. And you can call that natural order if you don't believe in God. That's totally fine. It's not a requirement on this channel. It certainly isn't. And I don't want it to pull us apart at all. Natural order, before industrialization and all of that made it possible to create this chaos, men are physically better. As far as stronger, faster, all of that, they just are. And so I think we're going to get to the point where we just settle back into the family, because women will realize these things don't make us happy. Once they finally get over themselves and admit that they were wrong, it will return to the natural order of things. It just will. We women have always wanted male attention. I can see that one of feminism's goals was to make women masculine and make us not want to wear makeup and not want to dress pretty or in a way that gets male attention. You know, they want us to look like the after picture in that meme that I sent last night. And if they can't, then they, it's more like live the 304 life. I don't think the 304 life was necessarily the intention. I think the 304 life was the road to the after picture of the Berkeley girl that, 4 years of Berkeley and what she looked like, where she's pretty androgynous. I think they wanted to remove the idea of women entirely. But women still want men. At the end of the day, women still want men. Have you ever wondered, God, they hate us. They hate everything about us. They don't like what we do. Da, 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 da. Why do they still want us? Why do they still want a high value man? What do they want us for? They don't know. They don't know. But I mean, watch Kevin Samuels and watch when he pretty much is like, well, what is it? What is it that you want me for? They're like, I don't know, companionship. And yeah, you guys are going to be like, oh, they want provision. They want money. And yes, but even the women who have the money and have, stability, they still want a man. The elites haven't been able to undo that. They haven't been able to remove that that drive that exists in the natural order, in God's order. The idea that women want the attention of men, want positive attention from men. We want men to want us. When we start learning that men want conservative women, not conservative necessarily, I'm not talking about politically conservative. Men want, when we learn men want wives, when we learn the preferences that men actually have, which we're actually learning from Pearl and Fresh and Fit and the Whatever podcast and Kevin Samuels and all these different, places, when we learn that, we'll change. Now, you will see some women chameleon and pretend. But what I think is going to happen is that women are going to start to go, no, I need to actually change. Because we will do what we think works to get what it is we want. And what do we want? Ultimately, we are learning we want a partner. We want a man. And I say partner meaning spouse, long-term relationship. We want a man. And feminism hasn't been able to undo that. And I bet that frustrates the elites. And now we're figuring out the lies. The only future I can see is that it goes more back to being traditional. And I don't mean Michael Knowles traditional of, worship women and, I mean like the women bring value and don't just want to take. So that is a giant white pill on this Saturday. And, I'm glad I could find an optimistic way to look at it because I certainly need it. But I believe this. I believe this to be true. I don't know when. But men have a long time to wait to make a family. Women don't. And pretty soon, the younger women are going to they're going to get smart and look for older men who are established. And hopefully they're not used up. So thank you for for joining me on this little journey into the white pill of the bleak landscape. Thank you. I want you guys to do something that feeds your soul. Take care of yourselves. I love you guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye.